Hello, Bill Molyneux here with Bill's History World with Goober the Traveling Bear. And oh my gosh, there is Goober there. And where are we today? Well, we're in no other than Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And we're at the Spangler Spring. Before the first light, the Union batteries opened fire on the Confederates holding this position. Well, rather than read all this, we will close in a bit. And you can pause your camera, cell phone, computer, or TV. So, upon enlisting, Charles R. Mudge wrote, "I fully made up my mind to fight, and when I say fight, I mean win or die. Wounded at Winchester and grazed at Antietam, Lieutenant Colonel Mudge died here, leading his men into battle." All right, Spangler Spring, a water source for both sides during the battle, was a popular picnic area where cool water bubbled up through the hole in the ground. The memorial spring was erected in 1905. Okay, well, we're going to walk around a bit and pause the camera for a moment. All right, well, here we are at Spangler Spring. Now, there are many ghost stories regarding this area, but I really don't do the ghost story stuff. I leave that up to someone else and a lot of other people. We primarily focus on history. So the Spangler Spring here, there was a sign. It's called an OGS, the Old Guide Story. And that was a myth of both Union and Confederate soldiers came down and drank water and filled their canteens and were sort of nice to each other during the battle, and that was totally false. This sign no longer is here. This spring supplied the Union and Confederate soldiers with water during the battle. So that's that plaque. And then we have that one there. One country, one flag, the strife of brothers is past. So, very pretty here today. It is December 15th, 2023. And as you can see, there are no leaves on the trees. All right, up this road, that pathway leads to Culp's Hill. And this back road, that goes off towards the Gettysburg School. All right, let's pause our camera and we'll walk a little bit. All right, the Indiana Monument, which looks like a tuning fork, is here by Spangler Spring. Something I really like to point out is, I haven't lived in Gettysburg in several years, but one of the nice things about living in Gettysburg or visiting Gettysburg during the winter is, one, there's no leaves on the trees, so you can see monuments a lot easier. And two, I have Spangler Spring area totally to myself. So, and it's a Friday. If you think about it, if I was trying to do this in July, it would almost be impossible. So, we have a jogger coming down this road, and I'm sure he lives in Gettysburg, or she, I can't tell from here. Let's go walk over to those rocks. We're going to go and see if we can't find the carving there. Well, right now we're on what's called Confederate Avenue, and I believe somewhere in this area is as far as the Union went in this direction, as the issues with the Confederates are in those woods. Well, they often talk about the large boulders at Devil's Den. Well, I want to just mention that over at Culp's Hill area, we're on the back side of Spangler Spring, there are some pretty big rocks over here too, and outcroppings. And it's pretty interesting how these became almost little forts in a way. Provided also shade and cover. And many of these and different areas of the battlefield had carvings. Now, there has been some people that have said some of the carvings were done after the war, some during the battle. That's for the, I guess, more the historians like Tim Smith to deal with, and not on this video. But I did want to mention that. Okay, what a beautiful day. You know, visiting Gettysburg off season really has its advantages. Also, it's not 80 degrees out or 90 in June, July, and August. All right. So, our Confederate marker here is Smith's Brigade of the 31st, 49th, 52nd Virginia Infantry. And this brigade having been detached 2 days guarding York Pike. So, very interesting how this is the far end of the line for the Confederates. We're getting way over here, and they just couldn't take Culp's Hill. All right, well, we can't close out our video without talking about myth, memory, and honor. Spangler Spring to your left is a place of myth, memory, and honor. On July 3rd, the hill behind the monument's location, the 2nd Massachusetts Infantry attacked the Confederates on Culp's Hill to your left. During a lull in the battle, the enemy combatants filled their canteens here. Legend says they called a truce, but there is little evidence to support this. The slaughter here was devastating. A terrible memory from veterans could not forget. They believed this to be hallowed ground, a place to honor their fallen comrades. In 1879, the 2nd Massachusetts erected the first permanent regimental monument in Gettysburg. The survivors' inscription reads, in part, honored memories of that hour, the survivors of the regiment have raised this stone, 1879. And 1893 Gettysburg Reunion Medal and ribbons. All right, and of course 1879, there's not a soul here alive. And of course even great grandfathers would be pushing it for 1879. Well, we do have a tourist car going by. What do you think of that, everyone? All right, well, the sun's getting ready to set, and I have another place to go to. Please consider visiting your local historic site, historical society. There's a lot of history out here in America, and Goober the Traveling Bear and I are just trying to bring some of it on video. I think that's it for now. Stay safe, be kind, be courteous, and thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Well, we had to add this to our video. As we're leaving Culp's Hill, which is on our right, we have the town of Gettysburg. And there is very peaceful. So I wanted to stop and just hit here, and there's the Gettysburg Cemetery and the gatehouse. And of course, the National Cemetery is off to the right a bit of that. And where Elwood Christ, famous historian and licensed battlefield guide who left too early in his life, is right about there. Okay. So beautiful and peaceful here. And I was driving by, leaving Culp's Hill with Goober the Traveling Bear. And we decided we had to stop and add this to the Culp's Hill video. Stay safe, everyone. Happy holidays.